In this story, we find that Jesus is in the midst of an outpouring. That he's in the midst of people being healed and delivered and set free. And where do we find Jesus when he starts drawing these large crowds? It says that he often went to deserted places. And why would Jesus, when revival was busting out, go to deserted places where people couldn't find him? It's because he knew he had to be with the Father. He knew he had to hear the voice of the Father, that he had to be connected to the Father, that he had to see what the Father was doing and enter into that. See, he couldn't let the crowds, he couldn't let even the miracles, he couldn't let anything decide or be the evidence of what he was doing was what he was supposed to be doing. He had to be listening to the Father. When they said, look, everyone's looking for you, Jesus. I mean, there's full out people being healed and touched. Everyone's looking for you. He said, it's time to move on. It's time to go to the next town. He would listen to the Father. You can't let the large crowds or the lack thereof be the evidence that what you're doing is what the Father's telling you to do or not do. I've always thought it was interesting how we often celebrate crowds. That often we tie the powerful meeting to how many people showed up. That often we chase and run after crowds while often we see Jesus escape them. See, Jesus never saw value in a crowd. He saw the value of the people in the crowd. And there's nothing wrong with a lot of people. There's nothing wrong with a building fund. There's nothing wrong with advancing the area and space that you're meeting. But the problem is the shame that we put on ourselves when we go through seasons where there's just a few. See, there's nothing wrong with celebrating the packed room of people encountering God. But we have to be careful to not let the enemy convince us that the packed room is in any way connected to how effective God is at releasing his power, his purpose, and his plans over your life or the city that you live in. That the same power in the room of 1,500 is the same power in the room of 15. That how big the room is doesn't determine how big your God is. Now, you may meet in your living room and the only person that shows up is your grandma. Maybe it's just your wife. Maybe it's just your kids. Maybe it's just your pets. Maybe it's just your dog. You are changing atmospheres in your city. When you meet with God, you grab a guitar, you put some music on, you are inviting heaven to earth. You are changing atmospheres. You are moving mountains. You are making a difference in your generation. And Jesus, he's so pleased with your heart. He's so pleased with your consistency. He's so pleased that you found what the Bible calls the one thing. The Bible often speaks about the one thing that is needed. David found the one thing. One thing. One thing I have desired of the Lord, this is what I seek, that I may dwell in the house of the Lord all the days of my life, to behold the beauty of the Lord. So a one thing heart. No matter how large or small the crowd is at Upper Room Northwest, our main focus, our consistency in seeing his kingdom on earth, our identity, our value, our effectiveness, our direction, our worth will always come from the Father. Listening, obeying, and moving, entering into what the Father is doing. My greatest achievement in life will be that I find the one whom my heart longs for.